to live my big life at 16,000 feet over the Big Lost Range in Sun Valley, Idaho. My name's Gavin McClurg. I live in Sun Valley, Idaho, and I guess you'd call me a professional paraglider. Yeah, Sun Valley's super world class just because it's got it's pretty unique geographically. We're in the Rockies, so we're in big mountains, but it's also very desert-like. It's very dry, it's very hot, but not like hot like in the desert, like in the Southwest, but we are right next to a desert and we're in really big mountains, so it just pulls in all that air as the day heats up. And because of a number of different factors, but mostly because of the height and the dryness of the air and the desert D conditions, we get really high cloud base. So, which means we can just get super tall when we fly. So our thermals, you know, a really high day in Europe would be 13 or 14,000 feet. A really high day here is way over 20. I mean, our legal limit is 18,000 feet, so we can't go above that legally because it's class 1 airspace. But if it was legal, trust me when I say you can go way over 20,000 feet here. So, and that's just very unique. The Himalayas are like that, and this area of the Rockies is like that. Not in the Canadian Rockies, it's still quite a bit lower, but this one zone in here, basically between the border and down through Salt Lake, you can get super tall, and when you can get super tall, that means you can go on monster glides. And so we've just got a unique features. Our Rockies is not just one spine. There's a whole bunch of ranges that orient northwest, and winds always come from the west. And so the mountains orient north-south, and our wind comes from the west, and so we can just bunny hop from one mountain range to the next. So, you know, a big day here, you can go 200 miles or more in a single day. So, you know, it's pretty awesome to take off from Idaho in the morning and land way deep in Montana at the end of the day. I mean, you can't even drive that fast. So, yeah, and our thermals are really strong, which means we can climb fast and get really high. And the less climbing you do and the more gliding you do, that means the more distance you can do. And so we're just in a unique place here to fly big distance. Yeah, so the latest thing I just completed was the 2017 X-Alps. So this is a race across Europe from Salzburg to Monaco via a whole series of waypoints. They call it the toughest adventure race on earth. It's just the ultimate sufferfest. This year's was 12 days. Only 2 guys made it. I think historically about 11% get in. So I made it in 2015, didn't make it this time, but was still racing hard at the end. And yeah, I think it was like 16 and a half marathons in 12 days. So it's kind of silly. You're carrying all your gear and flying as much as you can. So just got home from that, and then a couple weeks ago had a baby. So I had my first I think only baby, and a little girl joined our life. So yeah, the next adventure begins. I'm already looking at small wings for her. Yeah, she's gonna be learning super early because I didn't learn until probably mid-30s. So I'm pretty excited to get her into it. But whatever she wants to do, we'll make it happen. I've got a race coming up in Brazil. I'm actually going down to Brazil to try to break the world record, and then we've got some races in Mexico and Colombia. It'll be a big year of training, and then come this time next year, we'll be ramping up again for another X-Alps. Be stoked for you to follow along. I've got an Instagram, Gavin McClurg, and Facebook, of course, and all over the interwebs. And be psyched to see you on the podcast. That's Cloud-Based Mayhem. And you can follow along there for tons of films and projects and all the stuff that's going on. And yeah, send it, have fun.